Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn, and as always, I'm so grateful you are here. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. You already know all the goodness we're going to be getting into in this video, and if you are new here, welcome. If you enjoy spirituality, lifestyle, self-development, healing, journaling, all of that good stuff, then make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos and you can join in on this growing community. I am really excited to get into this video because I'm going to be sharing 8 journaling prompts that are directly inspired by the energy of this upcoming full moon in Pisces that we have taking place on September 20th, 2021. This full moon is really emphasizing the themes of letting go, of confronting ourselves, of checking in with ourselves, and taking note of what we've been holding on to and what we feel ready to intentionally release. So these journaling prompts are really going to be assisting you with that, with your reflections, with your full moon rituals. So I hope that you enjoy these prompts as much as I enjoy channeling them and creating them for us. If you end up using one or more of these prompts, if you feel resonance with one or more of these prompts, please let me know in the comments below. I love creating and cultivating community in the comments and just connecting with you all. So without further ado, let's get into these 8 journaling prompts for the upcoming full moon in Pisces. Where am I needing to and or have needed to surrender to uncertainty? My friends, if any of you have been feeling uncertain in your life, whether it's how everything is unfolding for you, whether it's why certain things have recently happened, whether it's what it is that you should do next or what you'll be doing even just a month from now, know that you are not alone, okay? We are all really experiencing a lot of uncertainty at this time, given the global occurrences, given the natural occurrences, given just the self-evolutions that we're all experiencing as we're all being upgraded to higher timelines, so many of us experiencing spiritual awakenings. Honestly, I've mentioned this in my weekly energy readings. I know I've mentioned this in previous journaling prompt videos, but we really are just being rebalanced at this time. And it's really important to remind ourselves with the intention to journey through this uncertainty with grace that this is a natural occurrence in life. We're not going to have complete control over everything, nor should we have the desire to. And we're also not going to know everything, right? We are always going to be experiencing uncertainty in this human experience, and that is okay. Now, that's not to say that you can become complacent and just not do anything, just not put in effort towards your intentions and your goals and really gaining self-awareness and putting in the work of healing and all of that. But there's no need to put more added pressure, right? There's so much that we do that contributes honestly to our own suffering. So this prompt is really just encouraging you to, one, gain self-awareness as to what it is that you really needed to surrender to. Surrender to the fact that I'm uncertain about this, I'm uncertain about that, I'm uncertain, what is it that you've had to come to terms with that you don't know and that you're going to be giving yourself grace for? I think I know that it is so helpful for us to write these things down because they're not just going to be circulating in our minds anymore. writing it down is a form of release, of letting it go. So allow this prompt to be that kind of practice for you where you're letting go of the uncertainties and putting them on the page. What uncomfortable yet necessary emotions am I accepting I feel, and I'm letting go of having shame for feeling them? So, this is another prompt that is really getting you to tune in with your self acceptance and really checking in with yourself on what it is that you are really feeling at this time. I know that certain emotions can get very uncomfortable to acknowledge and to feel, but my friends, that is where the issue is rooted is in the suppression of the emotions that we are honestly supposed to allow ourselves to feel so that they can pass through us and they can be properly released rather than suppressed and stored within our bodies. So, what are we at this time in this season of our lives accepting that we feel? And know it is necessary for us to feel at this time. And we're not going to have shame about feeling these emotions. You may have had shame or guilt for having felt angry or having felt afraid or having felt sad, whatever emotion it may be. Let this be a space as we are journaling this prompt where you are letting go of any of that shame, any of that guilt, and you are saying, you know what? I'm claiming that these are the emotions I feel with the intention to finally start the process of healing those emotions and letting them go. So, what emotions are you accepting that you feel right now? What are they? Really tune in with yourself. Reflect back on this past week, yesterday, earlier today, last week, this past month, really this season of life. How have you been feeling? And really ask yourself, like, really, self, how have you really been feeling? Okay, let's get under the surface level here with ourselves and really, really, really check in. Since I've been in the process of letting go, what do I acknowledge has served its purpose? So, I already know that every single one of us has been experiencing a lot of releasing these past few seasons of our lives, and it's important for us to acknowledge not only what it is we're releasing, but also what purpose those experiences served us while we experienced them. And we're letting them go because we know that they've served its purpose. This has served its course, and it no longer needs to take up space in my journey, in my life. So, what are those things? What are those relationships? What are those opportunities? What are those experiences that you acknowledge have served its purpose? And take it a step further by describing what that purpose was. What was that purpose of that one relationship that you recently let go of? What was that purpose of that one opportunity that you experienced and it came and it went out of your life and you let it go? What purpose did it serve you? What lessons did you learn from it? What awareness did you gain? Just really, really get into it, expand on it, and acknowledge what that purpose was, because I feel like this is just such a great way to like really seal the release, right? Is the acknowledgement of this is what I let go, this is the purpose that it served, and the purpose has been fulfilled. So goodbye. In what aspects of my life am I needing more time for myself? We are definitely experiencing a season where so many of us are feeling called to really turn inward and spend more quality time with ourselves. And I think to kind of expand on this prompt is just questioning why that is. Why is it that we have been feeling called to really spend more time and hold more space to be with ourselves? Have we neglected ourselves that much that we almost feel the need to catch up with ourselves in some way, shape, or form? But to really tap into this prompt of in what aspects of my life am I needing more time for myself and with myself, is asking and reflecting on where it is exactly that you need more time. So, for example, let's say that a part of you is really desiring to manifest a romantic partnership, but you're realizing that, you know what, I actually need more time for myself before I get into a partnership because XYZ. Or let's say, for example, you have a couple options career-wise of where it is that you'd like to pivot, where it is that you'd like to take a step forward, but you're realizing you actually need some more time to figure things out and get a feel for yourself because of XYZ. So just kind of really analyzing in what aspects specifically in your life you feel like you just need more time with yourself. You just need a little more time to get introspective, turn inward, and really just continue to get to know yourself and your desires before you move forward on that thing, before you invest in that thing, before you give more of yourself to that thing, before you're really just first and foremost giving to yourself. In what ways am I communicating my needs, and who am I communicating my needs to? This prompt is you getting to check in with yourself on where you're currently at in your communication. Perhaps it'll awaken you to some ways that you need to improve your communication currently. And I know that so many of us have been realizing just how important healthy communication is. So this is one of the reasons why I just wanted to really bring this up in these journaling prompts, because y'all making sure that we prioritize really healing the way that we communicate our needs and prioritizing learning how to engage in healthy conversation and healthy communication is just so important, right? It really needs to be a priority in our healing journey, in our awakening journey, in our alignment to our higher selves, because our higher selves partake in healthy communication. They know how to communicate their needs, and who needs to know what these needs are, right? Because not everybody needs to know what our needs are. And some people will need to know certain needs, and other people will need to know other kinds of needs. So I also just wanted to add that other aspect aside from, okay, in what ways are we currently communicating our needs, right? A nice little check-in right there. But aside from that, let's acknowledge who we are communicating these needs to, right? Who needs to know these needs? Because as we continue to shift and evolve and change, the people that we need to have these needs expressed to are also going to change, right? Because people come and go. I know all of us have been experiencing a shift in our relationships. So right now in this season of your life, who do you need to communicate your needs to? How am I practicing energetic self-care? Now, this honestly, in and of itself, can be a whole video just talking about what exactly practicing self-care for your energy is and getting into energetic boundaries and all of that. But let's just briefly acknowledge that everything is energy, right? Every single thing that we do is an exertion of energy, and every single thing that we engage in is an absorption of energy. Now, keeping that in mind, how are we making sure that we are preserving our energy? How are we making sure that we are being wise about what we're investing our energy in? So, if you're kind of confused about, how am I practicing energetic self-care? Well, just ask yourself, how are you preserving your energy, right? How are you making sure that you aren't completely exhausting yourself, completely depleting yourself? You're really being mindful of who gets to receive your energy and how much of your energy you are giving to certain things on a daily basis. Just being very, very mindful of your energy, because right now, y'all, it's so important, and it's only going to become honestly increasingly important that we are aware of how we are spending our energy, where our energy is going, what energy we are taking on. So this is a very much so energetic hygiene type of prompt. If you have any questions regarding this, please let me know in the comments below. I'll definitely give you further clarity on this. But y'all, how are you preserving your energy? Because your energy is precious, your energy is a gift, and it is so important that you're mindful of how you are giving and receiving energy on a daily basis. So, my friends, how are you practicing energetic self-care? In what ways am I allowing myself to return home to my soul self? I mentioned this earlier in the video that so many of us are returning back home to ourselves. We are listening to the calling that we need to spend more quality time with ourselves. And if you are, thank you, because you're definitely playing your part in healing the collective, healing the world, and uplifting the collective vibrations and frequencies. But I wanted a prompt that held space for those of us who have found ourselves, in some cases, finally, right? Because so many of us have experienced a lot of restriction and a lot of what's that word? It's another R word. Not restriction. I can't think of it. But so many of us have stopped ourselves subconsciously or consciously from being our most authentic selves, from really fulfilling our soul purpose, from really coming back home to our soul selves and being true to our desires, being true to our needs, being true to our worthiness, being true to our gifts and our power. So let's acknowledge specifically in what ways and in what aspects we have been allowing ourselves to return back to our soul selves. And I say soul selves because there's also the ego self, right? And the ego self has its own desires, it has its own needs, it has its own experiences. And those of us who have chosen to devote ourselves to this awakening journey have not been going home to our egos as much. We've been going home to our souls more so. So, in what ways have I been allowing myself to finally return home to our soul, to my soul self? Get specific, take some time with this one and really hold space for yourself to really realize all the ways that you've been going back home to your soul self. Setting the agenda of all others aside, what world do I personally and spiritually desire to create? So, setting aside the needs of those around you, setting aside the needs of what you think the world needs, what kind of world do you envision living in? Do you envision contributing your gifts to? Do you envision creating for yourself first and foremost? What world do you envision for yourself? What lifestyle do you envision for yourself? What daily routine do you envision for yourself? This is very much so a kind of sowing the seeds kind of prompt where you are allowing yourself to, again, go home to your soul self, your authentic true self, and get to know what your true desires are. What direction you truly desire to pursue moving forward in this new beginning, in this awakening, in this new cycle that we are stepping into, that you are stepping into. And as you continue to transform and change, and you are really experiencing unlimited possibilities in the midst of uncertainty, give yourself some fun time, some safe space to really dream big and really think about, reflect on, envision what kind of world you want to create for yourself, not for anyone else, not for what the society expects of you, not for what you've been programmed to believe you need to do or need to be. Really just tune in with yourself with this one, with all of these prompts, but with this one, just like really get specific and detailed and grand on the kind of world you truly, deeply, passionately desire to create for yourself. My friends, please dream big. Really, if you had no limitations, you had no obstacles, no challenges, what world would you create for yourself? So have fun with this prompt. And that, my friends, are the 8 journaling prompts for this upcoming Pisces full moon that we have taking place on September 20th, 2021. Now, keep in mind that Pisces is a water element, so you can expect this full moon to be a little more emotional, a little more vulnerable, a little more sensitive, and perhaps needy. Okay, so journey this full moon with grace and compassion and fulfill your own desires and needs as they arise. If you feel like you need a hug, give yourself a hug. If you feel like you need a nourishing meal, cook yourself a nourishing meal. If you feel like you need to go on a date, take yourself out on a date. Ladies and gentlemen, do not wait for anyone else to fulfill your needs and desires when you can definitely do it for yourself. And I know that we are programmed to believe in this society that we must have others do these things for us, these acts of love, these expressions of love and romance and care and affection. But truly, I believe that the greatest love we will ever experience is the love that we give and have and express to ourselves. When you can really love on yourself and fulfill your desires and be there for you when you need something romantic, affectionate, attentive, it's so beautiful. So let's cultivate more of that. That is definitely higher timeline energy. Okay. Be there for yourself. Take care of yourself. under this full moon. And I really hope that you enjoyed these prompts. And if you did, again, please let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, click subscribe so you can join this growing community. And I look forward to seeing you, my friend, in my next video. Peace and love, blessings, and have a beautiful full